I think we're just waiting for a bike that was a bit late out of the collecting area to catch up. That was the message I was hearing on the radio before.
No worries. Well, we do have a green flag at the back now, so as we say, this will be a split start. Red lights are on, all lights to the lights, and off we go towards Old Hall Corner there, and it's a bit of fresh air underneath the front wheel of Travis Rucker there, but to Henry McCartney on the 257, it's going to be relatively unchallenged as they go in towards Old Hall Corner. We mentioned earlier that Lewis Jones, bike number 30, a senior now, former runner-up in the British Junior Supersport Championship a couple of years ago. Looks like he's trying to mount the challenge already on Travis Rucker, but let's not forget that he was starting at the back of the grid earlier on today, had a lot of traffic to punch his way through, but now he's right there and he can go with the leaders.
Yeah, he's certainly doing what he can there. I can't quite make out the colours from this distance, mate, but certainly some good little action down into Cascades. Obviously, we're going to have the split start now with the MZs, and I imagine that's them getting off
MZs are underway, and I think Alexander Mann may have a problem there, Keith, because Alexander Mann, that's the red bike with a white crash helmet. I can see he's just having a look down to the left-hand side, and he's going to be pulling off there. So Harry Lamacraft, bike number 37, will take the whole shot for the MZs, but Alexander Mann, I'm sure that's him with the black leathers and the white crash helmet, is a retirement.
Okay, that'd be a great shame for Alex. Of course, he's been so consistent in the racing so far this year, absolutely dominating things. In fact, I think he was on for a perfect score as well, because he took the earlier win today and the win yesterday to add to his fourth Brands Hatch. So that's not good news in his championship charge for Alex Mann. It's always a very frustrating way to end as well. You've been waiting for your race, you agree to pack up and go home after, and all of a sudden you're packing up without having your race. Okay, they're coming past me now, and we've got a breakaway at the front. That's going to be Henry McCartney, I'm thinking, because that young lad really knows how to pedal a bike from the start. Then we've got a bit of a gap back to another pair, and then a slight gap back to the rest. So as watching the MZs go through the back there, they're now coming across the top, and yeah, we've got a three-way battle on the sharp edge on the MZs as well, before we get about a half dozen or so bike length gap to the next runner, who's Pete Woodley for. That's Andy Wales leading the way down. I think it's Chris Kent in second, and I think it's Harry Lamacraft there in third place. So he's got away with the leaders. He's where he needs to be, Lamacraft, and he's doing what he can to stay on the tail of them.
Back to the Ninjas, and completing the first lap, it is Henry McCartney, who has a 1.7 second advantage over Lewis Jones there. So Lewis Jones leading the seniors quite comfortably at the end of lap number 1. And I tell you what, Keith, the one we need to keep an eye on, number 217, Hudson Cooper, making up 17 positions on the first lap there. So Hudson Cooper back out onto the circuit, making his way all the way up to 4th position from the back of the Team Green Junior and Seniors. That is impressive.
Yeah, well, we know that kid's quick. Might not have much in the way of road skills about him, but he's certainly a very quick kid. Wait and see how far up he can clamber. Now, you would think that Henry McCartney might be a little bit of a stretch away, but you don't know, because he's got some quick lads around him as well to help tow him along. Might have to keep a bit of an eye on that lap record. It went yesterday anyway, did it, a lap record?
Yeah, I believe it did, in the juniors at least, yes.
Yeah, juniors lap record, senior lap record looked pretty safe. It's a very fast lap record for Atkinson. Wait until they come over the top. Now that gap is looking. This one McCartney definitely away with this one, no two ways about it. Here comes down to the chicane, and is that Cooper who's already moved up another couple of places? No, that's Cooper in third there. I can see his right off the bike. His elbow's almost on the curve as he comes through there. And watching the rest of them all come through safely there, including the flying capybara there. Up the hill they go.
Just watching them go through into the second sector there, Keith, and the second quickest first sector is from Henry McCartney of a 25.9. The quickest first sector is from Hudson Cooper of a 25.2.
Wow, so 7/10 of a second he's made up on the leader at that time. At that rate, mate, I think he's going to be challenging very hard indeed as Andy Wales goes through in the lead. So certainly having a bit more luck there. I think we're going to see Lamacraft get relegated down to 4th place. Hang on, Andy Wales, I think he's going a bit slowly, because the other two have all of a sudden overhauled that gap. And I think Wales might have a problem there, mate, because the right two right behind him all of a sudden were side by side going up the hill, and I'm pretty sure as they disappeared out that they were going to go under the bridge and past Andy Wales. Wait and see if you can pick that up when they get to you, mate.
Yeah, no worries, I'll keep an eye on that one there. I'm just watching the rest of the Ninjas make the way through there. So McCartney ahead of Hudson Cooper now, who's 1:58.242. That's the fastest lap, whereas I'll keep an eye on that one there. I'm just watching the rest of the Ninjas make the way through there. So McCartney ahead of Hudson Cooper now, who's Jones, 1:58.242. That's the fastest lap of the race at the end of the first of the flying laps. Then 2.2 seconds behind McCartney, as we said there, and 0.2 of a second ahead of Lewis Jones there. Travis Rooker, Kian Booser and Darren Booser up next, as Harry Lamacraft leads the way in the MZs across the line ahead of Pete Woodall and Chris Kent, Declan Ryan, Chris Rogers, and then Caleb Wright. But you're right, we're looking for the... you said there's a Woodall there, didn't you? Pete Woodall.
No, I thought it was Andy Wales.
Andy Wales, my apologies. Yeah, Andy Wales there, bike number 85, who's yet to come across the line. So looks like it looks like maybe near retirement towards the back end of the circuit. Unfortunately, we can't see. But there goes the 56 machine of Russell Turner, the man from Stockport. He's just outside the top 8 in the MZs at the moment there. But the leader's already coming past you in the Ninjas.
Yeah, certainly are. It's still McCartney now from Cuban. Did Cuban just pluck a purple out of the air there on the timing screen,
yes,
mate?
Yes, he did, yeah, 24.8.
Yeah, what a surprise. Not surprised at all. Previously it was 25.2, I think you said.
That's right,
so,
that's right.
He has definitely found another 0.4 of a second, and he's got the bit between his teeth. He really has. Obviously, he was involved in the incident earlier, so that cost him a lot of points in the championship, and he's keen to get those back and get back on terms with Henry McCartney, who was up there chatting with you a little bit earlier, mate. So please watch out for Hudson Cooper. He is coming and coming along fast. He's another youngster who's got some experience in the fab racing, but he's a very young youngster as well, isn't he? I think he's only about 13, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. You can say he's definitely a young youngster compared to the likes of Henry McCartney, who's not as young youngster. But no, 0.9 is now the gap between McCartney and Cooper. And get this, Keys, McCartney did a 58.9, that's his personal best, and Cooper did a 57.6, so he's lapping 1.3 seconds quicker on that previous lap there. Was Hudson Cooper, and Lewis Jones is going with him as well because he's done a 57.9, and that's a personal best for Lewis as well. Let's take a look actually at the senior lap record.
I'm going to say
it's a 57.8. 57.8 is the lap record.
Yeah. So he's very close. Obviously, we know the Team Green Junior lap record has been taken away from Charlie Farah, and we weren't expecting to see anybody take it away from Phil Atkinson until Lewis showed up today.
I'll tell you what's interesting as well, when Lewis came up here as well to kind of have a word with us there, Keith, as the MZ's come across the line now, Harry Lamacraft actually takes the lead as they go in towards Old Hall Corner, but Lewis was up earlier, as you know, and I've got the lap records open in the programme in front of me here, and he reached across, had a look, and there was a slight nod from Lewis as well, so I think we know what he's looking for.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You can't blame the kid for that at all. Okay, through they go, and you're right, it is a three-way battle. It's a junior-senior battle, and the senior is very much going, and all three of them are very close indeed as they go up under the bridge there, mate. Out of my sight once again. I really wish you could see more of the circuit. These three are really going for it, and Lewis Jones, I tell you what, whatever lap time those juniors are doing, he is going to be matching it second for second.
Yeah, Keith, we've got the first sector times coming through now, and it's a purple for Lewis Jones of a 24.392, and they're going to run about 0.7 of a second, 0.8 of a second quicker than Henry McCartney in that first sector on this lap. So I'm looking towards lots. I'm going to see flashes of colour coming towards us very shortly indeed, and it's 1, 2, 3 neck and neck as they come out of Deers Leap onto the front straight once more, and it is Henry McCartney leading the way, but Hudson Cooper's looking for the inside. No room this time around, but he's right there and he's definitely thinking about it as Lewis Jones takes the lap record in the Team Green Seniors, a 1:57.539.
Oh, I thought the kid would. Fantastic stuff. Well, he doesn't want the lap record as much as he wants to beat these two youngsters as well, because again, Lewis is only about 22. He's only barely out of his teens himself, and as far as he's concerned, you know, Phil Atkinson, no disrespect to Phil, but Phil knows he's going to win the senior race pretty much every time he goes out there, so he just plays with the youngsters and then lets them get on with their own race. I don't think Lewis is going to extend them that courtesy somehow, do you, mate?
No. In a word, no.
I'll give you 2 letters on that one. Yeah, absolutely. I just noticed somebody being loaded into the van down there as well. I didn't see anybody go up the Cascades, but somebody must have gone.
I think the number 58 here, that's Max Rhodes.
Okay, sorry, Max. Didn't notice you disappearing off to stage left. We're unfortunately concentrating on this battle at the front, which is coming across the hill. What a surprise, they're 2 abreast now. And I think Lewis is that Lewis in front? It's a blur of colour here, mate. I think, hold on a minute, get a little bit closer to my eyesight. Yep, that's Lewis out in front. No, it's not. It's, oh, hang on, the 2 rookie bit. No, I'm not quite sure who's in front now. I think that's
one of them is
third. Yeah, I think it's a change of the lead, mate. We'll get confirmation of that in a minute.
Well, the MZs have come across the line. Pete Woodall, Harry Lamacraft and Chris Kentkeith were separated, by 0.2 of a second. and well, 2/10 on an MZ is almost side by side, isn't it, as they go in towards Old Hall Corner.
Yeah.
But Lamacraft is right there with Woodall and Chris Kent as we're looking for the first sector times, and it is a personal best in sector number 1 for Henry McCartney, bike number 257.
I think that was Henry leading the way as they came across the line, followed by Hudson.
We've got them.
Lewis in the slipstream.
Got them coming out of Deers Leap now. It's going to be an MZ coming into play here, and it is Hudson Cooper who's now leading the way just by 0.02 of a second as they come across the line. So Hudson Cooper, Henry McCartney and Lewis Jones, 0.277 seconds separates those three guys. There's an MZ coming into play here, and Lewis Jones is the more experienced of those, so I think he could use that MZ to his advantage there, Keith.
I don't think it made any difference. The MZ's going so much slower than these guys have all gobbled him up very rapidly indeed. Looks like there was a slight advantage there for whichever one of the two youngsters it was leading the race, but some good corner speed has taken care of that business as the MZs have their own little battle past me as well. Who's that I'm looking at? That's Chris Rogers down there. He's borrowed some leathers because he bought some new leathers that don't fit him terribly well, is the polite way of describing it. He was a little bit more lucid than that, but I won't discuss that right now. Still waiting for those youngsters to come over the top once again. I do apologise to the MZ fans out there, but this is a great scrap between these three. And well, it's a great scrap between the top three and the MZs as well, isn't it, Bradley? They must be nearly back with you as well, aren't they?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're going through Lodge at the moment there. They're coming back into my side any moment now. You can see they're hugging that inside white line as they come across the line to complete lap number 5. So 2 laps to go then. Of course, it's a 7-lap race, this one, Keith. 2 laps to go, and in the MZs it is Chris Kent who's made up 2 positions. Lamacraft stays in second, and Pete Woodall drops down to 3rd place, but there is only 0.3 of a second this time covering them, as opposed to the 0.2 1 lap ago. So it's all to play for in the MZs there. And Declan Ryan and Chris Rogers having a good scrap as well for that 4th place position. It's the 181 Declan Ryan with the orange bib ahead of the 95 of Chris Rogers.
Okay, Declan Ryan doing a very good job. He's very impressive indeed. Chris Rogers, of course, former champion. Up and down we go. A couple of our youngsters have decided they're sick of playing on the tarmac. They go for a bit of grass instead. One of them is up, wandering away very rapidly. The other one is on his knees, wandering away very rapidly. So you're going to see 2 of the ninjas going down. He's crawling away from his bike, so he's obviously not too badly hurt, just a little bit winded. Didn't quite see what caused that incident, but it's going to give the crews down here something to worry about.
Ninjas back across the line there, Keith. I think the 2 riders who haven't gone through into the 2nd sector there would be Ruben Bray and number 27 machine of Alfie Garrett.
It is Alfie Garrett's machine. It's the white bike. I can see, I recognise Alfie's machine from earlier there.
So across the line, it's a half a second separating the top 3 in the ninjas there, but it's a purple 2nd sector for Lewis Jones.
Oh, mate, we've got another red flag, unfortunately. So how many laps into the race are we, buddy?
The last lap flag had gone out.
Oh, okay, good. So that's not good to have a look at a rerun. So the red flags have gone out, so you might as well call the results there, mate.
So as they came across the line then, it was Henry McCartney ahead of Hudson Cooper by 0.038 of a second, so 38 1,000ths of a second.
Well, you never know, that could be the difference of the championship at the end of the year between those two, mate. And Hudson may well rue that mistake from earlier, because that obviously cost him points in the earlier race, and it cost him grid position, and that grid position could be the difference between that 2nd and the 1st place, of course.
Yeah, I mean,